All right, time for sports. Myra's here with that. My.
Little rugby news for you, Hudson. Now, Winter Olympians aren't the only athletes that are hoping to take a trip to Russia in the not-too-distant future. For the Canadian Rugby Sevens team, getting to the World Cup in Moscow this spring is a must. Well, our Canadian boys continue to impress on the World Series circuit. They just dounced Scotland yesterday in the plate final in Las Vegas to improve in the rankings. Well, Vikes standout Nathan Hirayama led the Canadian side onto the field of battle. Not the start that our boys were looking for. Scotland's James Fleming avoids the tackle and then gallops over the try line for the early 5-0 lead. That doesn't hurt as much as this does. Watch as Connor Traynor gets hauled down by his hair. Apparently not illegal in rugby, but not a very nice thing to do. Traynor will get even on the score sheet, running in Canada's first try of the game. Our boys weren't afraid to sacrifice the body for the win in this one. James Bay back row John Moonlight uses his face to break through the out-of-bounds marker. Well counted. Canada led 10-5 at the half and never looked back. 22-5 is the final, and for the second straight tournament on the World Series circuit, our boys are coming home with hardware. They'll be back in Langford training on Monday, getting ready for the next leg of the IRB World 7 Series taking place in Hong Kong, March 22nd to 24th. Well, if the playoffs started today, the Victoria Royals would have home ice for the first round of the playoffs. The team kicked off their 6-game road trip with back-to-back wins in Washington, moving them into sole possession of 4th spot in the Western Conference. And the top 8 teams will make the playoffs. Here's how the picture looks after the weekend. Jamie Crooks had 2 goals for Victoria in yesterday's 5-3 victory over the Spokane Chiefs. Now that puts them 2 points up on the Chiefs with the game in hand and 3 points up on Tri-Cities. Essentially, the Royals would like to finish 5th or higher in the standings to avoid a first-round matchup with those powerhouses, Portland, Kelowna, or Kamloops. Well, the revolving door that is the Canucks crease may be an ideal situation for 2 number 1 goaltenders, but it's doing wonders in the win column. The duo Luongo and Schneider have backstopped the Canucks to 5 straight victories. Now watch for Louis to get the nod in net tomorrow night against the Minnesota Wild.
I told him the other day on after hours, say some good things about your coach and you might play next game. So he did, so he's going to play more.
I don't know, man. I don't try to figure it out. I just play goal when I'm told and just try to be ready when it's back the other way.
Well, Roberto Luongo quite engaging on After Hours and did all but admit that he is the man behind the hilarious Twitter handle Strombone1. Well, we know Lou is lousy in mini, but the Wild can't beat him at Rogers Arena. He has a 3-game home shutout streak going against them. Luongo has a 1.53 goals against average and has yet to drop a game in regulation in his 5 starts this season. Well, it took the NHL's reigning accuracy champ all of 2 weeks back in the lineup to rediscover his scoring touch. Jamie Benn tallied 6 points in 3 games last week to earn Second Star of the Week honors. 2 of the 4 goals Ben scored were game winners. He has 7 points in 7 games and is tied for second on the team in scoring with Louis Eriksson. Well, the Montreal Canadiens and Toronto Maple Leafs have taken the term bitter rivalry to a whole new level. Leafs forward Mikhail Grabovski allegedly bit Montreal's Max Pacioretty's hand during a third-period dust-up on Saturday. Pacioretty said he received a tetanus shot after the game as a precautionary measure, but the league ruled that the video evidence was inconclusive, so no suspensions forthcoming. In fact, Grabovski is in the lineup for the Leafs tonight as they play Philadelphia. Team Bolesky is Briar-bound. The foursome out of the Royal City Curling Club in New Westminster defeated clubmates Brent Pierce in yesterday's final to claim the BC title.
Bridges here at this tournament.
Yes, Bolesky has a few third-place finishes at the provincials, but this is his first final for the foursome. They were solid all week, and the curling gods were smiling down on them in the final. Brent Pierce, a BC Finals veteran, was a bit off, trying to use his guard to take out Bolesky's stone. Instead, he takes out his own rather than counting 2. It's a steal of 2 and another missed opportunity for Pierce in the 6th end. A little too heavy. Bolesky just kept tacking on single points en route to a 7-4 final and his first BC championship and first trip to the Briar. Well, for 8 years, it's highlighted the top athletes and accomplishments in the city of Nanaimo. And Saturday night, the Nanaimo Sport Achievement Awards honored the best of 2012. The winners were selected from an incredibly deep field from all walks of sport. Jordan Cunningham and I had the pleasure of emceeing the evening once again. As expected, it was a big night for VIU, whose women's volleyball team won nationals on their home floor, led by standout Danny Smith. The M's were named Team of the Year, and Smith took home Team Athlete of the Year honors. Individual female honors went to runner Erin Burrett, who placed 8th in the Canadian Half Marathon Championships, as well as 3rd in her age class at the Vancouver Sun Run. To be honored among your peers is something special.
It's definitely nice. Nanaimo needs something like this. We're a growing community, and to have an awards where everyone's recognized is great.
The community of Nanaimo is incredible too. The support that we get from, outside, and for all the athletes, and just the notice that they show for us just makes it so special. And I'm really grateful to be, taken into this community as someone from a different province. It's really made it feel like home for me.
One of the highlights was the Nanaimo Tigers floor hockey team. These guys took home gold at the Winter Special Olympics in St. Albert, Alberta last year. Getting crowned national champs netted them News Story of the Year for 2012. Those guys were the heartwarming story. They were so excited with their gold medals, and we're going to hear from them coming up during Vancouver Island Report.
Excellent. You had a busy weekend. You had the Sports Awards Saturday and the Zonta Ball on Friday, right?
Zonta Ball, I met a lovely lady named Grace, who's 89 years young, and she ripped up the dance floor the entire night. And she was like 4 feet tall, just the sweetest lady. Said, stay active, that's the key.
In red.
Ladies in red.
Yeah. All right, Mike, thank you.
You're welcome.